Howdy, everybody. Welcome back. This is Aft Fuselage build video number 7. So this is me and my dad. We are putting the right aft fuselage skin on. Actually, when we're starting here, we're trying to finish attaching the left backside. Those were those two rivets that I said were really hard. We tried a million different ways, and this is us trying to get it from the other side. We ended up failing, so we left those two rivets off of there. And here I'll show you a image of those two rivets, and it's on both sides. Those two rivets are extremely hard to get to because of the angle between the bulkhead and the skin, and that's why I ordered that smaller bucking bar that can actually fit in there, so you can buck those rivets. But that's us just trying to figure it out, and then made a mistake on one of the rivets on the other side there, so I had to drill that out. And then we finish up attaching that bottom skin to the aft fuselage. We rivet the last couple of rivets there and then attach the actual side skin on the right hand side there. So here you'll see us kind of move things out of the way, get everything situated, and then put and right there it's a real good picture of that J channel actually going underneath the skin there. And then we just cleco it all. You'll see me fast forward here in a second. And magically all of the clecos will be in that side. So watch. Ooh, here we go. Boom. There they are. All of the clecos are in. So you just line everything up, make sure all the clecos fit. We turn it around because it's easier to get the gun there. It's harder for you guys to see, but you know how rivets get put in, so it's not a big deal. I use the squeezer with the longeron yoke to do the rivets that are inside the longeron there. It goes pretty quick. This is a pretty long video. It's probably 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 minutes longer than my normal videos. But I've included basically the attachment of the right side of the fuselage there from start to finish. So you'll see the entire thing get attached. There's a whole bunch of riveting on both the longeron and then down the sides of the bulkheads and then the J channels. And it's all basically the same stuff. So the sides are pretty easy. While you can do that J channel, the two J channels and the longeron, you can reach by yourself. Like if you had to rivet those things by yourself, you could. The underneath side that gets attached to the bottom of the plane, when you attach the skin to the bottom, that cannot be reached by yourself. You have to have somebody else help you with that. It's just too far. You can't get the right angle on the rivet gun and the bucking bar at the same time. And so that piece was a little bit close, so I used the fancy bucking bar for the elevator trailing edge. I broke that out so because it kind of fits in there. And then use the squeezer for everything I can get the squeezer for. So let me tell you guys a joke. So how do you make holy water? You boil the hell out of it. Yeah, that's so funny. Oh my goodness. So here a whole lot more of the same old stuff. We're going to be riveting in. This is riveting in the back there. There's those two access panels, and you can reach some of the rivets using the squeezer through that hole. And so that's what we decided to do. We did some of the rivets around that hole, riveted the J channel and some of the that back. What are they? I forget what they are. The 10 and 11 um, bulkheads, maybe the 12 bulkhead. I forget what the numbers are, but anyways, you can rivet those using that squeezer, so it's pretty easy. The squeezer, in my opinion, is always easier to do than the rivet gun and the bucking bar. It seems it's just more consistent is all. And so here we're going. Once you do the longeron, then you're supposed to work your way down the bulkheads to the next J channel, and then work the J channel, then work your way down the bulkheads to the next J channel, and then do that last J channel when you're riveting those. That's kind of how the instructions have it. There's the family is leaving there. They're going shopping. They're tired of us being out in the garage working on the airplane, and so they decided to go shopping. And so this is us just working down each of the bulkheads. And then we started in the middle on the J channel here. You'll see in a little bit, we kind of start once we get the bulkheads all done. You'll see us work from it's not from the way far back, and it's not from the front. It's kind of in the middle. It's not really in the middle, I guess, but it's kind of in the middle. And you'll see us kind of go from one end to the other, riveting them in. Now, while I could have done that probably by myself, it was much easier to have two people doing that. So makes it easier all the way around when you have two people. And there, I don't know if you saw that, but I do have like a little mirror because the J channels, the way they're positioned, the rivets are actually underneath the J part of the J channel. And so I have a little mirror. It's just one of those cheap automotive mirror things. I'll show you a picture here in a little while. It's just one of the cheap automotive, mirrors that is on an extension. You can extend it out and then, kind of bend it whatever way you need it. And so I use that to look at stuff. So here I'm just working myself down the J channel. My dad puts the rivets in, I smush them, he puts the next rivet in. It seems to work pretty well. And then as we get towards the end, you'll see us remove all of the clecos because every other hole has a cleco in it. And so we're just doing every other hole right now as we go. And then you'll see us there, my dad removing some, removing the clecos, and then I go, he puts the rivet in the next hole, and we just kind of keep going as we go. And we just take it section by section as we're in that area. And they ended up looking really nice, in my opinion. There are two of the bulkheads that I will replace with the whole laser cut fiasco that happened. So those back two, not the very back one, but the two bulkheads that are there, that the two bulkheads basically that hold the horizontal stabilizer on, those two will get replaced. So I will have to at some point drill those out. The sad part is the deck. I've already attached all of this has been attached, and so now I have to unattach everything. But that aft deck is also attached, and so I have to undo all of that and then undo those two bulkheads, take all of the stuff off of those two bulkheads, attach the real thick pieces of aluminum that the horizontal stabilizer attaches to, attach those back to the new bulkheads that I get from Vans hopefully soon, and then put them back in and reattach them to the skins, which I will have to have drilled out completely correctly and made no mistakes. So that's going to be a fun little process. And then actually get in there and buck all of those rivets correctly. So let's just say that it is not going to be fun. And I'm not particularly pleased with having to do that. But again, what are you gonna do? You know, you gotta fix them. Vance is like, hey, here's the things that are wrong. They're gonna send out everything that was laser cut. They're giving you. Um, it's a pain in the butt. It's a lot of hours that will have to be made up. But I'd rather have it be right than wrong. And in all honesty, you know the RV-14 is a better performing plane than probably anything else I could get out there. So what are you going to do? So this is me and my dad. That's the last J channel there. While I could have reached those, it would have been a stretch. So it was really nice to just have my dad helping with those. And we do end up getting the bottom ones as well in this video. And we have that moving blanket. It's speaking from experience, by the way. When you drop your bucking bar on aluminum, it will dent it. Just FYI. And then you'll have to deal with that. So we put that moving blanket kind of in the bottom there, and keep moving it. So if we do happen to accidentally drop the bucking bar, it doesn't completely dent or ruin something that's in there. And as you see, we're not, really anal about it. We don't move it all the time, but it is in there. We try to keep it close to where we're working, and in the hopes that if something bad did happen, it would protect the bottom of the plane there a little bit. There we go. We got that last J channel we're working on, getting it all situated, and then getting where the J channel and the um, bulkhead kind of meet. You have to get kind of in between the bulkhead and the underneath the J channel. Your bucking bar has to kind of fit in there so you can buck that rivet that fits really tight under there. And while the bulkheads are the lips of the bulkheads, or the parts that attach to the skins, are facing forward, you can buck those pretty easily. But those back two, I don't know if you can see, they're actually facing backwards. They're facing towards the aft of the plane, the aft end of the plane. And that's where you run into problems, because the angle from the bulkhead to the skin is such that you can't use a square bucking bar. It won't fit close enough to the bulkhead to actually have a piece of the rivet on the other side. The rivet, when it pokes through that hole, your bucking bar won't be up against the rivet. It'll actually miss it by a hair. There I am with my mirror again, checking what we've done, making sure that it actually was bucked correctly. And you'll see that a lot, especially when you can't see something in as close quarters. You end up checking stuff more than when it's out in the open. It's pretty easy to tell when it's out in the open. You can see if all the rivets look the same. You can check one or two of them and then you're done. But those ones that you can't really see, you got to kind of inspect a little bit. And so I do have my handy dandy little pen light thing. Works out really well when you're trying to see in those little crevices. There's a image of I have like the middle one there. That it's just a square little mirror that it's on the end of a pole that extends. And you can kind of angle it however you need to angle it. It helps out a lot. So I recommend, if you don't have one of those, get one. It helps out when you're doing tight spaces. It also helps out when you're trying to see inside wings, the elevators, or the anything that has the skin already on it. It helps out. And so here we are. We're doing the bulkheads around the corner. I don't know if you can kind of see the clecos in the bottom there, very just barely. And so we're doing the bulkheads down to where they're at the bottom, and then you'll see us do the very bottom of the skin. So the right aft fuselage skin gets attached to the bottom skin. Um, and you'll see us do that here. I think I changed camera angles for that so you can kind of see up in the thing. There we see we made a mistake, had to drill another one out. It happens, but if you notice, there's a bunch of rivets we did, and we've only had 2 mistakes where we had to drill them out of, what's that, probably 400 rivets. So it's not a half bad average. Works pretty well. And then we just keep going, working down the bulkheads. Once we have all those done, we will do the bottom. Oh, it was kind of funny. When we drilled that out, one of the pieces got stuck between the skin and the bulkhead, and so we were messing with it trying to get it out. Finally, we ended up getting a piece of needle nose pliers that were curved, and we got a hold of it and actually pulled it out and got it situated. So that was what we were messing with there. We weren't drilling out another one. It's like we were just trying to get the piece that was there. It was kind of stuck in between, and we were trying to get it to move and couldn't get it to move. So we did eventually get it. And there, I switched the camera angle. This is us doing the bottom of the plane. Oh, and there's management. She is watching. You'll see her here pretty quick. She breaks out her phone, I think, to document our progress and whether or not we're doing things correctly. There she is checking on my performance. I must have been doing a good job because she didn't fire me or anything. And then we just work our way all the way down that bottom skin, that right aft fuselage skin, connecting it to the bottom skin as it goes. And that bottom skin has like its own little J channel on it that makes it pretty stiff. And that's pretty much it. That's the entire right aft fuselage skin attached. As always, if you have any questions or any concerns or anything that you think I could do better, please let me know. If you don't like the jokes, too bad. Um, they're only 20 seconds, so you're not, in too much pain, hopefully. So have fun. We'll talk to you later. Bye.